On today's episode, we go through studies and how food has changed throughout the years. So if you're feeling like you're lazy and you're not accomplishing your weight or wellness goals, you're not alone. Hi, I'm Brooke Lyons. A few years ago, I lost 50 pounds and finally got my life back. I've uncovered the tools that allowed me to keep the weight off and help hundreds of my clients also lead a healthy and vibrant life. Losing weight is only the beginning, and being happy and healthy is so much more than just a number on the scale. So join me as we discover how to thrive beyond weight loss. Well, welcome. My name is Dr. Brooke Lyons.
And I'm Bri.
And today we are going to talk about, just some of the shame that we feel. Like we feel like we're too lazy and we can't do it, right? So it's not just about wellness and weight. It's about also like life, I think. It's habits. It's all that stuff. So welcome to Thrive Beyond Weight Loss. Did you hear there was a study, and it was 1970s, and all of the stats started to go up for weight, like along every age group, everybody. It was pretty consistent how many people were obese in the world.
Yeah.
And then in the mid 1970s,
just skyrocketed.
And that begs the question, why, right? There was lots of things that happened in that time. We changed our food sources.
Yeah.
A lot of habits started to change.
Cheaper products.
More
profit.
More processed products were cheaper. They also took sugar out, and fat. There was all kinds of
fat-free movement.
Oh, Lordy. Yeah. All these things started to come up when we started processing our food now, because then they could play with it more.
And the fake sugars.
Well, I don't know if that was then.
Was that then?
I'm not sure when that happened.
Was that later, I think?
I think it was a little later, but they had done the research about the healthy fats. Thinking fat was unhealthy. The problem is, in any research, you can research, and if you didn't know this, you can research anything and prove it. It's your hypothesis, and usually you get what you focus on, right? So if you're trying to prove that this does not blah, 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 you'll probably find a way to prove that it doesn't. That's the hard part about research, is that we really should be going in with a question. I wonder what happens when blah, 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 instead of I wonder if it does this, because you will, like I said, prove what you were trying to prove. But that doesn't mean that it's true data. It just means you influenced it in that way. You have a bias.
Were the 70s when they introduced TV dinners and stuff?
Right?
I'm trying to think that.
Yeah,
and eating on the TV dinner. What are those? Trays in front of the TV.
TV dinners, I think they were. Yeah. I know. I have friends who that's what they ate all their life, and one of them actually died several years ago. And he said that's one of the things. His mom was a single mom. She was doing the best she could.
Right.
There was not truth in advertising. I don't think there still is, but there's supposed to be. But there was no truth in advertising. So they were selling it take care of your family, give them the food that they need, the nourishment they need. And of course, marketers are smart. When I will say lost that $6,200 because I did a weight loss program that I never lost a pound. But you know what? It was the foundation of Body Bella. I needed to go through all that awfulness to see what kind of industry that I was getting into. I had no idea, because I'd never needed it before I started to go into menopause. That's when my weight started to skyrocket. So, but you don't realize that there's so many skeezy people out there just trying to make a buck.
Huge money maker business.
Off our pain. And this is why we do these podcasts and all the things that we do, to make sure that you understand how your body works. Because if you have a glass of wine, we want you to have that fun with your family. A piece of cake, it's happening. It's going to happen. But if you feel guilty about it or shamed, then you not only do you eat those foods that are not nourishing to your body, but then you have the psychological hole that you just dug deeper in that.
Well, you're raising cortisol levels when you're doing that as well.
Yes.
But yeah, there's so many things that started to change, the TV dinner thing I brought up, because you're not only eating more processed foods, but then you're more sedentary. They went away from
TV.
sitting as a family to sitting and watching more TV and being, playing outside less and being less active. And I think that's when we started to become busier. And, most of the time both parents work, now. So you have less time to make dinner. So people are doing the drive-throughs and just the lifestyle.
Sold as food.
So I think there's a lot of things that have factored into why the obesity rates have continued to rise. But it's definitely the quality of our food has definitely gone.
Absolutely.
Down.
And I think back in the day, lots of people used to do gardens. It was like kind of normal to have a garden. We were flying through, I can't remember where we were now. We were going to Malaysia last December, and it's South Korea that's the safe one, right?
Yes.
Yes. So South Korea, we stopped there, and the geography is hard for me because I was in French immersion as I grew up, and I didn't understand what they were talking about for the first several years. You're like speaking a language that's not new to you, that is new to you. So, but anyways, we stopped there, and it was so fascinating. Like, I love to see what goes on in these different places. So we took a subway from the airport, and we went out and just started walking. And we found this neighborhood, so I was like, let's walk into the neighborhood. And it was also the best way to get to the, I think it was the ocean. I can't remember where. Like, there was lakes everywhere too, but I'm pretty sure that we were walking to the ocean. And there's this neighborhood of mansions, like giant mansions, and they were all glass, and they get snow and stuff there too. And it was pretty cold when we were there. But they were all glass, so I thought that was fascinating because you're always in light. Like, that was amazing. But do you know what? There was like 3 houses, and then the same plot that a house was going to be in was an entire garden. And they were all made in these circles, like there was pods of houses, and they
My water fell.
Yeah, no worries. Where we were there, we were walking around, and there was these pods of houses. So they would have like 20 houses in a round circle, and every 3 or 4 plots was this garden. And then in the center of the whole cul-de-sac was a garden.
Wow.
And they had compost going, and everything was kind of dying off right then. But you could see the remnants of like all kinds of different vegetables that they were growing. Like, this is how they live their life still.
Well, it's such a cultural difference too.
Gosh.
Such a different lifestyle than Americans live. But like, the gardens is beautiful. Like, my in-laws have a garden, but it is so much work and time, and it's like people don't make the time or have the time, whatever you want to, but it's very difficult to grow your own food.
It really
and
is.
have the time if you're both working. So like, I think there's so many things that just is like a ripple effect that make it very difficult for people to live a healthy
It's true.
lifestyle, especially in this day and age. And
especially when you're so busy, we could find the time to do those things, but how do we? Like, where you're going to have to change?
Finances always are a big thing. Like, it's just like, you always say good, better, best. So like, trying to make little tiny steps, and you might not be perfect at all of them, but they all will help to have a better, healthy lifestyle.
Just one change. They say 1 degree. Like, if you're flying in an airplane and that airplane's trajectory changes 1 degree, like, instead of going here, you land there. Like, 1 degree could just make such a huge difference. And we never know. I always like to say too, like, if you throw a penny into the Mississippi, does it rise? It does. It raises by that 1 penny's, space. So, but that's the things, like 1 penny of difference can make that much difference to your life. But there's also farmers markets. Like, right now, I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, I don't love the social aspect." They were a complete introvert, and I'm like, "Well, then get in and get out."
Right, and like, there's the Saturday morning one around here that to me is less crowd. Like,
Is it?
the Wednesday night one downtown is.
It can get pretty busy.
Yeah, there's live music, more partying atmosphere and stuff. But if you go to the Saturday morning one, it's a lot more chill.
More business only.
And actually, De Pere, I think, has one too, which is a lot smaller.
Yeah. I mean, wherever you are, you're going to have farmers markets. Sometimes even having it in the winter now too, which is awesome. We have winter here. Maybe you don't.
We have
But
winter
yeah.
for 9 months out of the year.
Right? It feels like 12. There are opportunities to do different things and talk to the people who grow it, because you can be like, so my daughter, like, it's awesome how the early 20s, like, so every time we travel, we bring back underwear because there's funny underwear everywhere. And so we'll bring back some kind of funny underwear. And they were all being donated. Like, the last time I was like, hey, bring me your stuff. We'll take the donations in. And I was like, wait a minute. These are like in the
underwear.
bags. You haven't even worn them. And they're like, it's polyester. What? like with their underwear. Like, yes, there's polyester. He's like, both my kids actually.
You want cotton?
My son's like, I want only cotton on that region. He didn't say it like that, but
oh my gosh.
I'll edit it for you. But my daughter too. Like they just, and it's so exciting to me to think that generation has decided we don't do that anymore. Like you guys, yes, you did it. You had polyester underwear. But you know, they have lived this. Our choices have made them seek something different, which I think that's exciting. She also, my daughter and I went through, like, we have a lot of parties because we have that pool. And so I used to have plastic dinner forks and all the things that we would just rewash every time because I don't want to throw them out. If they're fine, I'm washing them. But then we were realizing the toxic load from the dishwasher being so hot with that plastic, it was ruining our air. And so I threw them out, which I hate to say because they were still perfectly useful, but I'm not doing that anymore. And so at our work exchange last year, we always say like, you get a name out of the hat, and then we kind of ask, like, what would you like, so that we don't get a gift certificate for some place you never go. And I said, I know it's weird, but I want secondhand cutlery. And the person who picked me knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yep. So we even have it at the office. We have it was a set, but it's not a set anymore. I don't know where these things just fly away. In fact, I think I have a few at my house. So, but yeah, there's always these things to consider when we're on a wellness journey, because it's not just wellness and weight. It's like the whole picture, and what are we doing that's either bringing us closer to that goal or bring us far away? Because when we can see a rise like that in the mid-70s, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not lazy. In fact, I think we have to work harder now than we ever did before, because it was just naturally built into our life. Like other countries still do these things. You don't get processed foods. When we were in Chile last year too, they're all proud that they're getting all these fast food restaurants. I won't name them because I don't want to get sued, but they're the biggest ones you know of. They're here. And they're all happy about it. And I'm like, oh,
yeah, but their fast foods in other country, they have the same ones, but they serve better food than we do.
Do you know what?
They have restrictions on the chemicals and stuff.
I was going to get to that.
They have a different menu.
They absolutely do.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. Yeah, it is crazy, because at first I was so like, oh, no, it's going to walk you down this road that we're going in. But every other nation they are so proud of their food. This is why I love my Body Bella program, because if somebody offers you heartfelt food, it's not going to be broccoli and cauliflower. Nope, it's going to be something in phyllo dough that was like full with butter or sugar and stuff. But foods from other countries don't have the toxins, which is in 75 what started to be more of.
Right.
They're not dealing with that every day.
No, like when I was in Greece, I ate all the pasta, all the, like the Mediterranean diet. And I never got tummy aches. I never got bloated. I lost weight. Well, we walked everywhere when we were over there too, because that's the lifestyle that they have there as well. But yeah, like their bread is fresh. Doesn't have all of the fillers in it and stuff. Like it'll be a rock by like 5 o'clock that night, so you have to eat it right away. But like I ate so much of it, and I never felt true. And the milk, I had whole milk lattes, and
yummy.
I have a problem with our dairy here typically, and I didn't over there.
Yep. And so I hope these changes are starting to come fruitful for us. I think the kids are not the only ones who are done with this.
No, and I think there are being more. It's just harder access to them here, more expensive. And I think it's just educating ourselves and making those choices and changes. Because even if you were raised a different way, that doesn't mean you have to continue on that journey.
It doesn't.
You can do your own, you can live your own life and change anything, and then start to raise your kids in that way.
Yep. But I'm proud of you for being here today, because that doesn't come naturally usually. Usually you identify a problem and you're like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like a couple of episodes ago, I talked about somebody in our life who was like, so proud of himself for yelling at his sister, who was grossly overweight. She really was, but so was he. And like I was just kind of watching the whole thing happen, because I was like, but are you not looking in the mirror? Like,
so he was taking your own advice.
Well, and he was speaking to himself, but he was also speaking to his family, because the habits now because we've known them for a long, long time. there are habits that are happening that they don't either realize or don't know, because I'm sure that there's also some things that they don't care. Like it's just family traditions. Do you know that you can bring healthy food to your family dinners?
Yes.
Did you know that you could so we have, I became a citizen in 2023, and 2023. And so I like to celebrate that because I think it's really cool. I'd been here for 30 years already, and then I finally became a citizen. So we had a party, and I served, everything was on program. We had a cake in addition to that. But everything was on program. Do you know that nobody even ate the buns? Because we had burgers and stuff, but we made them big enough to eat and not so you had to have 3.
Veggies on it and everything.
We had everything just on the program. There was a big fluffy salad. There was other veggies to eat. There was everything that you would eat for health. And nobody complained. They all ate it. And then the buns, I was surprised. There was only one person there that ate the bun with the burger. Everybody else, and they don't know what my program is. This is my friends. Your friends don't know.
Right.
But everybody's doing it now. We are awakening to this new concept that the old ways are not, sometimes they're great. In healthcare, we are working harder than we need to because our food source is not as healthy. So if you're an introvert and you don't love the crowds, go early. Go to the farmer's market early, and just get what you need. I always say, if you're not planning to succeed, you are planning to fail, right? Sometimes I say if you're not preparing to succeed, you're preparing to fail. The other day, somebody said, "Why no rotisserie chickens?" and I was like, well, because they're in plastic, in black plastic, which is the worst plastic, and they're in a heating lamp, so that plastic is absorbing straight into your food, and they inject it with every single thing that you never want to put in your body.
Antibiotics.
Yes, and so it seems like it's fast and easy, and it looks like a healthy chicken. But it is the antithesis of the opposite. It is the opposite of that.
Throw your chicken in a crock pot and it'll fall apart just like that, and you'll have it for days.
Yep. Yeah. And then you can put some extra water in there. I always cook mine in the crock pot with about 5 cups of water.
Yeah, it gets so moist.
It does.
And it falls apart, and you can use it for any.
I make soup with it. I love the soup, because then all the bones were in there and then getting that. So you get that bone broth in there too. I love too when you congeal, when it goes cold, and you've got that yellow line on the top. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff, the collagen and things that we really need. But if you just cook your chicken and bake it in the oven, you lose all those properties. So I love that for the crock pot. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're working harder is not going to help you. It's not giving up more. It's not restricting yourself. Those things don't work. You might drop some weight really fast because of, if you're drinking 12, we've had this happen, 12 to 15 colas a day. Worse if they're diet sodas. Those things weren't a thing in the 70s, right? Those were probably invented there too. But if you're drinking all those things and you stop, your body is going to release some weight.
Yes.
That toxicity level is going to go down, and your body's going to be like, thank you.
And
I don't
putting
need
more
to store
water
it.
into
Water is also an awesome idea. But when you're doing these things that are not healthy, you could lose weight quickly, but that I could throw my shoe off and lose weight quickly. That's not the healthy, maintaining my health. That's not wellness. That's just weight loss, and we want to lose that dense adipose tissue, right, from our bodies and
our organs,
our organs everywhere, really. Because every bit of adipose tissue actually also stores a bunch of toxin. That's why some people they feel a little foggy and tired when they start the program, because their fat cells are like, oh, good, I can dump some of this stuff. And then you're like, oh, I don't feel good. But it's temporary, but it's a necessary process. And then go on Facebook Marketplace, find somebody you know or trust and who makes, sourdough bread. People are making such beautiful things.
Oh yeah, there's lots of stuff.
There's
it's
lots
so
of
cute.
things.
My in-laws are from a small little town, and there's this family on a farm that make their own sourdough, and they have this cute little set up cabinet at the end of their driveway with fresh eggs and everything, and you can Venmo them, and every time she brings home the most amazing fresh stuff and fresh eggs. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's so exciting to think about.
I know.
Isn't it?
I want to live doing that would be my dream, is to have a farmstead like that.
Oh yeah, except for all the work. I have a giant garden, and this year, because Body Bella is growing and doing so many things, we seeded it with flowers. It's the only thing.
Exactly.
Otherwise, the weeds will take over. But yeah, that to say there's seasons in life. And so if you're feeling like you have to work harder or you're lazy and that's why the weight's not coming off and why you don't feel well in your life, I promise you there's more to it than that. Right?
Yes.
So if you want more information, just follow us. We're on every social media, I think. Body Bella Transformations with Dr. Brooke Lyons, or Body Bella. And just make sure that you're reaching out for the support that you need and deserve. Because these things I know don't come naturally to us. I'll close with this idea, is if you were a business and you made, say, bread, for example, we were talking about bread. Would you want your bread to stay on the shelf for a short time and go rotten? Or as a business, would you want it to stay on the shelf and stay on there for a long time? You'd want it to stay for a long time. But to do that, you're going to have to alter the good, healthy food, things that are in it. You're going to have to add things that make it more shelf stable. And that is not health. But they're not in it for your health. Even if the label says it, watch what's in it. If there's bromate, all these things that are toxic to our body, then that's not a healthy thing, even if it says healthy. It's just the advertising. Look on the back and find out those substances. But that's a business. We have to realize that. And of course, for their business, if I had a business, I'd want to make more money too. That's what you're trying to do in business. But helping people and making more money are not always mutually exclusive.
No.
We are so blessed at Body Bella because we are creating a movement of people who understand like good life can be all these things. You can have a party and people won't eat the bread. So, you can do all these things in just such a different way, but you've got to surround yourself with the people who are doing it. So join us for more episodes of Thrive Beyond Weight Loss. And when you're ready, go ahead and hop on our website or say hi to us. Join the Thrive Beyond Weight Loss Facebook page. Actually, it's not a page, it's a group. Not of just people who have been on Body Bella, but for people like all of us who want to have a better life and want to do things every day that we might not have ever thought about. Yeah, so join us there. Thank you so much for joining us today.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on the Thrive Beyond Weight Loss podcast belong solely to the host and guest speakers and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any associated organizations or health professionals. The content provided is for informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider with any questions regarding a medical condition or health objectives.